So if you're not getting referral after referral, it might be time to look within. It might be time to look at your internal customer experience, processes, all the things. Come on, we'll check it out together in Design Sips. We'll raise a glass and think tank how to bring more joy, more balance, and more abundance to your interior design firm. I'm Sandra Funk, and this is Design Sips. Cheers.
Cheers, Sandra.
Cheers.
Okay, so we have designers submitted their questions. Let's dive in. So
Indeed.
Pam asks, what are your techniques to get your clients referring you?
Okay, so as I have alluded, that it's really about the client's experience. First and foremost, it is so crazy important for your clients to not just go from house that needs work to finished house, but they need to go from A to B in an exceptional experience. So what does that mean? That means that they are, they know exactly what's coming next, that you've set incredible expectations. They really know when they're gonna hear from you next, how it's gonna go down, how often they're gonna see you, all of that, right? And they also are feeling like you are constantly surprising and delighting them. You are catching them off guard and just giving them so much more than they even expected from you. So we'll dig more into that in a minute. Consistent communication, just showing up when you're supposed to, but again, and then we're gonna take it much, much further. When it comes to referrals, it's also super important to just remind your clients that, amazing people tend to know amazing people. And do you know any other of your friends and contacts that need an interior designer? Like, I want to keep working with people that are just as amazing as you, and I'm sure you have them in your network. So compliment them and tell them that you'd be thrilled to get some referrals from them. And you don't have to say, here's a stack of cards, can you refer me? Because that's so yesterday. Did I just say that? Let's drink and not think about what we've done.
That's really funny. Okay, so yes, you've hit so many good highlights. So why don't we start digging into each of these? So creating a custom and unique experience. What does this look like without changing your process from project to project? What does creating a custom experience for a client look like?
So it can be as simple as having a really detailed design questionnaire that, under the guise of getting to know them and getting inside of their head, you're also, which you're doing, but you're also arming yourself with opportunities to ask them what their favorite flower is. Ask them what obviously you're gonna ask them their favorite colors, the colors they don't like. What's your favorite cup of coffee? What's your favorite cocktail? Where do you like to shop? What's your favorite restaurant? Like, can you get inside their head in a way that when you got their kitchen, you send them a gift certificate to their favorite restaurant because they're going to be eating out, right? Like, can you get one step ahead? Do you know their favorite flowers, their favorite colors? Can you then send their favorite flowers in their favorite color when they have a life event? Can you not only present their detailed design presentation, but have their exact perfect cup of coffee there waiting for them? Not just some coffee, right? It is about taking it further, taking it more custom. This is what we do. We get inside their heads and we make their homes look like them. So can we show that off a little bit in the experience of going through the design process as we move through?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Sandra, can you tell us about the story with the purple flowers?
Oh, yes. Okay, this one was great. This is, as I chew ice. This is like a blooper reel. Sorry guys, this is just Design Zips today. Okay, so it's not just what you ask in that design questionnaire, it's what you pay attention to every day, all day when you're around a potential client or a client. So I was at a potential client meeting and we were just about wrapping up and I was like heading out the door and this like twinkly little princess of a 5-year-old came spinning into the room in a full purple princess dress, right? And twirling, swirling, all the things. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so pretty. And she said, thank you. I'm wearing it to my birthday this Saturday. I'm turning 5. And I was like, that is adorable. And the mom was like, yes, we're having a party and we're going to be hosting and it's the big princess birthday party, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, so fun. So nice to meet you. I'll get out of your hair. Nice to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. We're out. So I know they're home It's Saturday, they're having people over, and this little princess likes purple. So I send over a bouquet of purple flowers. Hey, hope the day goes great. Happy birthday, princess. We got that job, right? Pay attention to what's going on around you. Same thing, if you're interviewing to do a wine cellar, maybe it's a gift certificate to the most amazing restaurant in town with the deepest, biggest, crazy wine list. God knows, if someone's putting in a huge cellar, you're probably not going to impress them with your wine selection that you buy for them. So pivot, right? And also, if your budget's not like $600, you're probably not going to knock their socks off with a bottle of wine. But you can do something thoughtful, right? There's always a thoughtful thing that you can do that's in your budget. And flowers were so custom, and the note was so like on point, and it was so timely, and it's just being thoughtful. It's always just being in that moment, being thoughtful.
Mm-hmm. And back to your note about asking for the client referrals. Mm-hmm. We had a client refer us, and you sent them a gift card to a restaurant as a thank you. Like, even to that point, and they were still a client at that point. Just saying thank you and surprising them with that, even.
Oh yes, yeah. Big thank yous to the referrers when you get that referral, right? And of course, anyone who is referring you, you should know well enough to know where they hang out, what they would love, what would move them forward. Especially a client, they might be looking at accessories or pillows or something. You might have done something in conceptual design that they were like, oh, that's gorgeous. And so maybe they refer you, and that can be the gift, right? Like, just really be thinking about how you can surprise and delight them, and then reward them and show them just how appreciative you are about a referral. I'm so careful to make sure that I send a nice gift and a big note that says, handwritten, that says, the referrals are literally my highest compliment. Thank you so much. Like, it means so much to me. And go all the way with that. Not just a thanks, like, go for it. Pardon me. A pollen is real this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and just a reminder, guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to get more design tips in your inbox.
Yeah, we're here. We're ready for you. We've got more business tips. Let's do it.
Okay, so part of this, creating an exceptional experience along with surprising and delighting them with these little touches, like you said, is clear and consistent communication. Tell us how you build this into your process.
Yeah, definitely. So I love the idea of, like, we can go from not done house to completed home, and it can look like the stars align and everything is excellent and it's just an incredible experience. Or we can look like, follow-up phone call. Where are they? How come they haven't called yet? When am I supposed to hear from you? Like, it can be this like really difficult experience of, when are we meeting next? What am I supposed to be doing? Do you need anything from me? How come I haven't heard from you, right? Has anyone ever been there? So one of the biggest shifts that we make quick in our interior design business is just making our communication 100% consistent without fail. And what that looks like for me is our weekly project update. We send our weekly project update every single Friday, come hell or high water. And nowadays that can be programmed to be sent automatically on Friday, even if no one is working on Friday. If it's like, a major holiday, it can still be programmed to go out. And it is all of what we've accomplished this last week, all of what we're going to accomplish this next week, the next important meeting dates, anything we're waiting on a client on, like an approval of something or what have you, input. It's just our baseline of everything that's going on in a project. And it happens, it's in a template so that the whole team can update it as we go. And it goes out every single Friday, come hell or high water. And it makes our clients feel so taken care of, right? They know they're going to hear from us. And also it calms down that very uncomfortable, where are you? When am I going to hear from you? What do you need next? What's going on? That anxiety, right? That feeling of, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what happens next. I don't have control. I don't feel confident, right, around what's happening. And so often our relationships with our clients get kind of out of control or start to spiral in a negative way when our clients don't feel like they understand what's happening next, right? When they start to tip into fear, like this is getting out of my hands, I don't really know what's going to happen next. When they tip into fear, it can really be a downward spiral in a project. So when we can be just totally supportive and communicative right from the beginning, we can stay out of that fear spiral. I know you guys have probably seen it if you've been in business for any length of time. Something comes in chipped, something comes in wrong. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing next. And the next thing you know, there's a microscope out checking over every item. Like the fear, that I'm being taken advantage, the fear monger, the spiral comes in. And you really want to make sure that you're just staying on top of positivity all the way through the project.
Absolutely. And so we teach this method. We provide the weekly project update template in the standard, and we had a member reach out, Tiffany White, and she said the standard gave her the systems and processes, and clients not only love her work, but they appreciate the new level of communication she's able to offer them. And in fact, her referral and repeat clients have doubled since implementing.
Doubled. Referrals have doubled. And it's because of having consistent processes, communication, the experience. Again, you can do this or you can do this, right? When you do this and you say, awesome people know awesome people, I'd love for you to, send your friends my way. When you gotta ask for it, you gotta tell them you want more business, you gotta tell them that you enjoyed working with them and that you'd love to work with their friends and network. But when you wow them, there's real potential, right? And then this level of surprise and delight, like when there's I love the bagels, orange juice, cream cheese, drop off on the day that you've got the kitchen. Know that they're gonna breakfast in the dining room, the kitchen's all taped off, right? Something that they can grab and go, something that doesn't need to be refrigerated or cooked or whatnot. That's share worthy, right? If you make it custom and you make it special and you put it in a beautiful basket and you say let the adventure begin, that is something that they're going to snap a picture of, right? Maybe they're going to post it if there's someone who does that, or send it to a friend, or even just mention it in passing at lunch with their girlfriends later that day. It is share worthy when you really knock their socks off and spoil them rotten and go that extra mile. So do that. Make yourself share worthy. Make yourself something that people are buzzing about, that they're talking about. That is how the buzz gets out in the neighborhood, right? No, the design is great, the communication is excellent, and they did this really kind thing, right? That was custom and very thoughtful, and they were really paying attention. That's when you get the buzz going.
And I love her note about repeat clients. There is no shame in continuing to get more and more work from your existing pipeline.
Oh yes. So I love scope creep or repeat clients, or however, if it's a break and they come back, or if it's just keeps on adding. The clients that you already have, that like, and trust, and that know, like, and trust you, we all know the cost to go out and get a new client, right? Social media, marketing, onboarding, negotiations, getting to know one another, all of that is expensive. And so having a client come back and come back and come back is absolutely the best, right? A client that stays a client, buys another house, moves, decides to start all over again at the beginning of the house, is the best client. So just always be thinking about that, ending on a really high note. It's a big part of why our processes have payments up front and that we don't end up with a big freight bill at the end. It's all about the experience. The whole idea of the standard is about how is the client experiencing working with your design firm.
Exactly. And imagine any service you go to and the process changes every time, how infuriating that would be.
Right. If you don't have really clear locked down processes and systems, when you have that repeat client and they're getting it, and the contract has been edited a little bit, or the processes have shifted a little bit, or things have changed a little bit, every time they come back to you, they're like, is this kind of all just off the cuff? Or is this really a systematized business, right? So once you can get all that locked down and you can have that consistency from referral to referral or repeat client to repeat client, your street cred also starts to improve. Your respectability, your referability really does improve as well.
And if you're looking for that type of system that's reliable and foundational and has been used by hundreds of people, we definitely recommend checking out the standard.
Yeah, interiordesignstandard.com. Type it in, check it out. Yeah, it'll change your business and probably your life, from what I hear.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we just want to remind you to leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. How do you surprise and delight your clients.
Yeah, what's your big takeaway? And I would love to hear, like, do you do something special for them that we haven't, like, mentioned here? Put that in the comments. It's always good to share, right? We can all brainstorm together and we can all be surprising and delighting our clients further and further. Love it.
Absolutely. Okay, and you could check out our next video, how your mindset is holding you back from success.
Yes, don't let you get in the way of your greatest success. Sometimes we are a little bit more limited than we need to be, and blowing past that is such a huge part of exceeding in business.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. All right, cheers, y'all. Till next time.
Cheers.